My name is Matti Hakamäki. I'm the director of Finnish Folk Music Institute. I'm very happy that you are all here. This is a session meeting for the accredited NGOs who are accredited to this UNESCO 2003 convention. And why we are here is because in the next committee meeting of the convention, COM15, there will be an agenda item, first time, concerning on the NGOs' views on different topics. And so, of course, this is a historical moment now that it's very important that we as accredited NGOs now think thoroughly what we want to say. And the steering committee of the ICH NGO Forum has given me the task to facilitate this meeting. So the beginning of drafting this report for the 15Com went so that all of the NGOs, accredited NGOs, we got an email from the steering committee and a question who are willing to work with this report. And then a smaller group was working with the draft decisions, and there were 3 different groups, and I volunteered to facilitate this group, which topic is ICH in emergencies and COVID-19. So very, very important topic. And we had 2 preliminary meetings, actually one preliminary meeting with a smaller group, and we drafted these 5 statements that I hope that you all have read. They were posted by email to you all, and then also on the forum's website you can read them. So with this discussion, I'm hoping that you will give us feedback about the statements. Do they seem appropriate to the report? Is there something missing that we should have in the report? Should we take something out? Of course, the report won't be included with these questions, but these are to help our session conversations. But the topics, of course, are the ones to reflect on. And so we will go, hopefully, I'm starting to wrap it up in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And the technical stuff, I think everything looks good. The cameras might seem working. We can do so that we use only the cameras when we are speaking ourselves, and also only the microphones when we are speaking. So if possible, do this, and then I will be checking the chat just a minute. Yes, and please put your name and an organization to the chat, and then check also that your name is correctly put in the participants list. I think this is all from me for the beginning. Of course, I'm very grateful for the steering committee that they have given me this opportunity to host this session. And do we have anybody from the steering committee present, if they would want to say something? It seems that we don't have. So then I will take the honor and responsibility to say welcome to all of you. We will go through these 5 questions, and everybody can say their points after I read the question, and then in the end we will have an extra space for have a kind of an open discussion. But in the beginning, if anybody has anything to say about the framework of this session, about the proceedings I have spoken so far, please, you can raise your hand by raising your hand through this application, or then you can write to the chat that you want to speak, or then just open your microphone and speak out. So please, any questions, any technical questions, anything? Yes, okay, so it seems that everybody is pretty much happy. Of course, we can see that there we have Helena Drobna. We are very happy that you are joining us also. So you're from the Secretariat. Would you like to say something, Helena, in the beginning?
Oh, I actually didn't foresee to intervene, but I'm very happy, just very briefly, to see you all, or partially, and to see this activity, which is basically very nice, connecting to something we've been trying to do within the COVID period, which is the Reliat movement, which has launched many discussions on how the arts and culture sectors are dealing with this pandemic and with the impact on bearers, artists, etc., etc. As you may know, we had a meeting for the Southeast European countries in July, I think, exactly on this topic, and there were very nice examples coming from these countries on how bearers or states were proposed solutions, or how they managed to overcome the problems caused by COVID. So I'm very much looking forward to hear what you have to say. How did it impact on your side, and what are the contributions in this discussion, and also in the bigger discussion on the emergencies? That's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Helena. Thank you very much. So we will proceed. Now I have a question to myself, or to us, that should we have a short introduction? Maybe we could have a short introduction that everybody would say something and tell who you are and where are you from and what organization you are representing, but please keep it just 20 seconds so that we will go on with the actual subject. I will be calling your names, and please, could you please, Robert, could you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Robert Barron, and I represent the International Society for Ethnology and Folklore, and I live in New York and in the USA.
Okay, welcome, Robert. And Pepe?
Hello, everybody. I'm Pepe Martinez. I'm from Spain, in Valencia, and I represent the Fallas Studies Association. It's a center for studying about festivals. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, Pepe. And Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Porkakoti?
I am from India. I have an organization, Society for Srimanta Shankardeva. We're looking after so many ICH.
Okay, welcome, Kumar. And Diego? Diego Bradis.
Hello everyone. Talking from Paris, representing Traditions for Tomorrow, one of the founding NGOs of the ICH NGO Forum. And I have to excuse myself, I had to leave you at 3:30 Paris time, which is in 15 minutes, because I had another meeting scheduled. Hello everyone.
Hi, nice to see you. And Natia Trabaidze.
Hello, everybody. My name is Natia Trapaidze. I am new member of Georgian Arts and Culture Center, GACC. We are from Tbilisi, Georgia. Hello, everybody, once again.
Nice to see you. And Julio Blasco.
Hello, this is talking from Alchemisi. Julio is the the actual secretary of the ICH Intangible Cultural Network, and the feast here, the Intangible Cultural Heritage is the processions around the feasts of our Holy Lady of Health, known as La Muixeranga mostly.
Okay, nice to see you. And then Kaloyan, Nikolov. Oh, you are sorry. Of course, you were here, Kaloyan. You're from the steering committee. I didn't see you when I checked the list. You want to say also welcome, like on behalf of the steering committee, please?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting, and I'm very happy to be on this meeting. I'm Kaloyan Nicole from European Association of Folklore Festivals, and I'm in steering committee in charge of Eastern Europe. Hello for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, great. And Ravi Sahu?
A very good evening to everyone. My name is Professor Ravi Sahu. I'm a professor in sports management and representing HVPM. We are into traditional sports and games and serving the society from last 105 years, I believe. Thank you. From India.
Yes, welcome Ravi. And then Helena, we had Lauri Oino from our organization, please.
Yes, just a sec. Hello everybody, I'm Lauri Oino and I work with Matti in the ICH in Finnish Folk Music Institute.
Hey, Lauri. And then Ceci Margaona. Yes.
Hello, I'm from Mexico, ICOMOS, Mexico, and I'm working on bolero, which is a genre of music that was born in Cuba, but unites all of Latin America.
Welcome. You say your name is Sechi or Kesi or?
Ceci.
Sorry?
Ceci.
Ceci, okay.
Like sexy, but with a C.
Okay, great. And Gabriele?
Good evening to everybody. I'm Gabriele Desiderio. I'm from the International Italian Association of Proloco, and I run the website and the Facebook page for the ICH NGO Forum. And okay, I will be here and assist Matti in conducting this meeting today.
Yes, great, Gabriel. And then one more, Pablo Francisco Gomez Porter. Pablo.
Hello, everybody. I am Pablo. I am from Mexico. I am a professor at National University of Mexico, and I am the coordinator of the scientific committee in cultural intangible heritage from ICOMOS, Mexico.
Okay. So great. Once again, great to see you all. We will go and proceed, and I will be reading the first statement, which goes as follows. It is widely accepted that ICH in emergencies, be they caused by the natural disasters and or armed conflict, can play dual role, both to pose a threat to the ICH itself and to serve as a powerful tool to help communities prepare for, respond to, and recover from emergencies. How ICH under COVID-19 fits into this model. So please, if you have comments on the first statement, please. Julio?
Yeah, I would like to comment. You see, during the first months of the pandemic, we had a very serious lockdown here in Spain. And a great part of the feast here has to do with music and with bell ringing. So there was a form of keeping alive neighborhood just by playing the traditional musics of a feast, or playing the bells sometimes so that everybody around could hear, even being locked at home. So it was a proof of how this intangible heritage builds community.
Okay, thank you, Julio. This is a good example. Any other comments? Ravi Sahu, you have raised your hand, please.
Yes, thank you, Matti. In support of the statement that has been made, the first statement, one of the commonalities between natural disasters and armed conflicts, including the COVID pandemic, was the distress that they have caused between populations, among populations. And that distress has been well faced up with ICH. One of them is traditional sports and games, where we have tried to bring smiles and fun to the kids especially. I will just quote one example here and finish my point. If we remember the war or the armed conflict in Afghanistan, and still the Afghani people were playing buzkashi, their traditional sport, which kept them more energetic, more stress-free. So when it comes to being stress-free, ICH or traditional sports and games of the respective region has been helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. Other comments? I will once again go through. There is this participant list, or there's a button for participants, and then it opens the window for the participants, and then you can there go to your own name and push. No, sorry. How did you raise your hand? No, I forgot it myself.
It's in the lower right-hand corner under the list of participants. It says raise hand.
Yes, okay. So thank you, Robert. And I don't see any more comments. Please also, you can share your experiences. We have many places to do that. But I think it will be very important that we hear different reactions, reflections from different regions, what the COVID pandemic situation has caused us and what kind of ideas it has elaborated.
I can add a comment here.
Please, Sanjeev.
In my state, Assam, which is a on this digital platform. So they're utilizing this opportunity to spread their expertise, which they normally would not have. Because to come together physically requires a lot of organization. But in pandemic time, we're using the a digital platform. So it is giving opportunity to so many practitioners of art and culture to show their expertise. So that is a plus point. I've seen it here in my state.
Thank you, Sanjeev.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Robert? You have your hand.
Yes, I in the United States, and I think more broadly in other parts of the world, I would imagine too, they're the organic developments, which are the expressions within communities of response to COVID, creative response, traditional resources which people use to respond and act proactively. And then there's the organized and deliberate efforts, and I can just give a few examples. So, you know, obviously around the world you have memes, which are, you know, expressive means of people commenting ironically and humorously and you know, caustically, whatever, about the pandemic. There's also mural painting on shops which are closed. There's narrative. There are other kinds of expressions people have, and song and songs that people are composing, and you know, within traditional forms. Then there are organized efforts that we have here on a national level. There's a group which was called the I think it's Traditional Arts Recovery Group, that a national Zoom call that involved a number of people involved in traditional arts, folklore, ICH, if you will, that communicate information about efforts to funds which were available for traditional artists, but also involved into something that was a way of us coming together and developing and strengthening the infrastructure for people working in this field in the United States. So it became a pretext, an opportunity to come together about other issues and exchange of information, initiatives, and advocacy. So I think it illustrates how the pandemic is providing a springboard for activities which will occur after the pandemic, as well as a mutual discussion of issues. And there's one other project that I'll mention as a deliberate effort, in addition to documentation efforts by folklorists and others and ethnomusicologists about COVID. And that's a website where in Virginia where traditional artists were able to present their work and offer online teaching opportunities in traditional arts. So that's an example of several things that are happening here.
Thank you, Robert. Any other comments? I don't see any. So I can see, so the committee or the convention has worked with the theme with ICH in emergencies for several years now. And from the beginning, it was kind of understood so that ICH can be threatened by emergencies, but also they can be a tool for recovery and to respond. And I think we are seeing examples from that. So we can say that this COVID-19, even though it's a different situation, I guess I can say that it still applies in this framework of the dual role. Okay, so it seems I will go to the next point and next statement. Yes, and it goes as follows. Exchange of information, especially sharing of good practices, is of special importance when one needs to act speedily against the threat of the pandemic. How to improve ways to support exchange of information and sharing of good practices between NGOs. So this situation, as we all understand, that especially in these kind of situations, the sharing of good practices is very vital. So do we have any examples that are applicable in other places, from, for example, from your regions? Diego, please.
Yes, because, thank you, Matti. We're dealing with grassroots indigenous groups throughout Latin America, from Guatemala down to Bolivia. and we have already established a network for the past years. And we felt at Traditions for Tomorrow that they had some rather close concerns in dealing with the COVID-19 issue. So we launched a first investigation within the network about a month after, late mid-April, and that triggered an interesting flow of exchanges between them, which is still going on, because although they are very different in terms of geographically, climate-wise, some are peri-urban, some are really rural, but they understood that they had some rather close concerns, especially in relating to the majority group of population in the country, where they are in many instances marginalized, and how they could relate to messages, prevention of the COVID-19 and resilience proposals that were coming from the majority group, the main society in the countries, that were ill-conceived and not adapted to their context. So we have been supporting, as our NGO, production in terms of communication on prevention that came out from these very rich exchanges, and which are still developing today and expanding through the WhatsApp group and Facebook pages. So now we've sort of pulled back from that, but this communication has been very important to them in exchanging experiences and a feeling of community at regional level in addressing the issue of COVID.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comments, please? No other comments.
A ver, voy a comentar.
Julio, sí.
No, here what has been interesting during this pandemic is that you see they have these traditional dancings, and usually they practice during the year, and during the feast they represent the dancers. And during the pandemic, they showed us the sort of practice they do at home, each of them. So it was a way to not only to keep alive dance and all what it supports, but also to keep alive the feast. I think it was an interesting proof of the importance of the heritage to maintain a community together.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Julio. Any other comments to the second statement, Ravi?
Ravi, habla.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Thank you, Matti. Adding up to the previous point by Julio, what we did to promote traditional sports and games in stressful COVID times, especially when we understood that people were locked inside with their loved ones, but under stress. So we came out with online yoga teaching or classes. And through that, we came out with a slogan, the family that works out together stays together. So that was one thing when we understood that the market, or rather the people, were together but under stress. So we emphasized on the togetherness and tried to cheer them up through yoga and other traditional sports and games, through online platforms, of course, reaching to their place.
Thank you. Any other comments? on the second statement, it seems no. So we will go to the third one. Third one, many communities, groups and individuals cope with the pandemic by relying on, returning to, or looking for resources and means in their immediate social, cultural, and natural environment, demonstrating a self-sufficiency hooked with ICH. Can this help in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals globally, and how it relates to the jurisprudence and of the Convention and other statutory documents? So, kind of idea of in the cases of emergencies, we go back to our roots in a way. We go to our social circumstances and get our resilience and our activities from there. And so the idea is that is there also a positive chance in this global crisis that we can actually give something, ideas to the communities, to the whole world in a way, to cope with the future with in a sustainable way. Ravi, I saw you first, please. Ravi, you have to unmute you, please.
My bad, sorry. I'll just read what we have already prepared. In difficult times like the pandemic, people have fallen to the old and conventional ways of doing things, like relying on traditional recipes for nutritional food so that the immunity could be built up. Most people are majorly avoiding packaged and junk food due to the fear of contamination. Second point that we have made, likewise, the elite sports events had to be closed to, I hope, Matti, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Likewise, the elite sports events had to be closed to stop further spread out. In the absence of television sports content like football and cricket and tennis, adults and children alike would have wanted to go out and play with their mates. However, due to the lockdown, they were restricted, and hence the most sustainable traditional sports and games as ICH in various regions of the world have come in handy. They require no heavy sports equipments and or huge playgrounds, but provide for the much needed physical activity required to uplift the moods. For example, rope skipping. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi Sahu. That was very interesting and very important. A good example, which I think goes also to the other domains. If you think about music or dancing or whatever craft skills, if you have the equipment or the places where you can practice your art is not too complicated, then also it kind of gives more resilience to the practice. Very good. Thank you, Ravi. Any other comments?
Yeah, I would like to add here what you just said, that about dance. The traditional dance forms have been a very useful tool for people now to keep their moral high. Like the classical dance forms of different countries have been practiced by the kids. So they're keeping their own moral high during the pandemic. And also, it is not only that they have to search for their roots. This pandemic has made people go global. Just like we're coming together on this platform, even the youngsters are now going global. They're talking to people across continents. So that way, they're taking their impetus from both from their roots and both globally. So that way they're enriching themselves. And cultures are coming together during this pandemic. A sort of global togetherness has formed during this pandemic. The universal brotherhood, that concept is more important. People have realized it the hard way. I feel that.
Thank you, Sanjib. Yeah, very, very nice, important words. Yes, I agree. We have other comments. Julio?
Yes, I feel what has built this brotherhood that Larry was talking about, or Sanjib, sorry, really makes sense. And see all this possibility to join online, and also the time people have spent at home meeting online with the rest of the world. We have this museum here, and during the serious lockdown, the amount of visitors online it had was very much over usual visitors live. So the new technologies are a great possibility to share this deep-rooted brotherhood among human beings.
Thank you, Julio. Yeah, it's a very good point too. And also, I think it's very important to remember with this use of, thinking about the technology, the advances or the possibilities it gives. It kind of highlights the importance of giving because in some regions, areas, you don't have the same technical infrastructure than in others. So it highlights kind of this problem. If we really want to act as a global community, then we have to take care that also the technical infrastructure is equal in a way. So it kind of, I think this very much this crisis highlights this need. Okay, do I have more comments? We will go on, it seems. And I will go with the fourth one. Many ICH communities adapted to the pandemic by developing online methods of practicing, enacting, transmitting, and safeguarding ICH. In principle, such methods represent a substitute for face-to-face interaction as a basis of ICH. Nevertheless, are there methods that can be taken as welcome novelties in the functioning of ICH in general, regardless of the specific current situation? What are challenges and opportunities of digital transition of ICH in the present and imagined future? So actually continuing from what we were just saying, how do you see the technical challenges and opportunities, and please, especially your region's point of view from that? Any comments? Robert, you opened your mic, I can see.
Hi, sorry, let me put my video on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's been a lot of discussion about how artists, traditional artists and communities are adapting to online presentation and transmission as well, and how it will be sustained after the pandemic. For many artists, this is the only way that they can make money. And there's a certain fatigue among musicians about doing this because it's they're doing a lot of it. I don't know that they're getting that much income from it, but there's certainly a feeling that there's a mastery of Zoom and other online platforms that will be sustained after the pandemic. So it does have certainly have implications in the way people are sharing traditions, presenting traditions, making a living as traditional artists through ICH, and you know, that will have implications beyond that. And I mentioned the online site in Virginia, which was used as a teaching platform through Zoom. You know, and this is something that I think is a very good method for people who are dispersed, who are living in different communities, diasporized communities, transnational communities, and using these online platforms. And there have been a series of performances that have been organized in New York State. There was a one performance a day in May that was framed and explained by a wide diversity of traditional artists. So the idea of having series of presentations and performances about foodways of music, various dimensions of ICH. So it's a you know, it's a programmatic approach to presenting ICH solely in a virtual way. And again, you know, there were some kinks, there was some problems in getting the artists and the people organizing it together, but you know, eventually it worked out.
Thank you, Robert. Any other comments?
I can add one thing here.
Please.
Well, some ICH can be imported online. Some others cannot be done. Dance and music can be taught online. The musicians and dancers can come together, they can perform together. There's so many musicians are already doing that. But some ICH cannot be done. For example, we have been teaching one craft to the youngsters, that is manuscript painting on the manuscripts made from tree bark. It's a special craft in Assam. It's a medieval craft. So for that, you have to collect the bark of tree, prepare organic paint, and do art thereon. It's a traditional craft. So we have been organizing workshops every year and teaching hundreds of youths so far. But this year we could not do that, and that could not be done online. So this type of ICH
Guess we have a frozen connection here. We wait for a second to see if we get the recovery. Okay, Sanjib, sorry, Sanjib, we didn't hear you for a while, but now it seems the video is going. So could you test your voice, please?
Yeah, my net was unstable for some time. So
Okay.
my experience is that while some intangible cultural heritage can be imported online, and the youngsters are taking opportunity of that in this pandemic, some ICS cannot be imported online, like the craft we are teaching, the manuscript painting. So that is some area which requires a face-to-face interaction. So the artisans who are practicing those type of crafts, they're losing very much during this pandemic.
Yes, thank you Thank you, Sanjib. It's a very good remark that the different domains, they are not treated the same way with this pandemic. And it was also in the subcommittee meetings before this meeting, it was raised up by Naila Basic that especially music and dance, it's actually pretty well mediated. So the practitioners are pretty experienced with filming and audio, using audio equipment and so on. So in that case, kind of music is maybe in a better situation. But then there are some other domains that the situation is very different. And this is very important, of course, to understand and keep in mind when safeguarding. Yes, please, do you have other Kaloyan, please?
Yes, thank you. I want to say something about festivals and events because the festivals and events is a very social thing that we connect each other and see each other in eyes. But in this situation of COVID, of course, we have not this opportunity because of the beginning. All festivals were closed, of course, and just the way that we can share our share is only online, and many organizers of festivals made online this year their events. 2 days ago, it was finished one big festival in Brazil with more than 20 countries. It was very interesting. We in our association organized 3 events online, and on our platform was established online stage that everybody can share free of charge their videos, and it is a very big interest of this. So we try to organize different kind of master classes of instruments, of voice, of singing, and teaching some teaching platform. Our platform now is coming to be like a teaching platform of ICH, of different kind of different instruments and so on. And now we think that the thing that can help to safeguard the heritage, the ICH is a practice, of course. This is a practice, and when you have a point to go to some festival or some events, many of groups, many of people get start rehearsal for this event, and they have a point of view. And this is why we try to make different kind of online events. Virtual events is not like a real on stay, but this is now the situation, and this is only one that we can do. And we hope that this pandemic situation that we have now will arise different digital skills of many persons and many groups, and in the future maybe together with the on-stay festivals, will organize online festivals, because the traveling is so expensive, and some of the groups want to be on festival on other side of the world, and this is so expensive, and this is one opportunity to be together, not on the stage, but together with all participants of the. And I think that is one of the, maybe only one positive thing of this COVID situation.
Yes.
Digital is coming, you know,
Yes.
everybody, and we must learn
Yes.
to use all opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the digital is coming. Any more comments?
I can just add one thing.
I would.
Hello, Jan. What he said, that expenditure, when you organize some one event, you have to spend a lot of money. But organizing something online, you don't have to spend anything. So that is a plus point.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we, no flight tickets, no hotels, no 10 days, and just make a good video. And maybe the equipment will be in the future more good, and the online festivals can make in real time in different parts of the world, in different stage, and will be collect on one live stream. I think it's one of the possibilities to be. Okay.
Yes, definitely. And then Ravi, or please.
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize more on the point that Robert made on how to monetize this online content of ICH. So that is going to be one of the challenges, and it will take its own time to mature. We are still in the first year of the new world, or the new world order. And I absolutely agree with one thing that India has, which is very different from every other part of the world. You know, the data cost for 1 GB in India is less than 10 cents of a dollar. Now, this is the lowest that you can get anywhere in the world. Everywhere it will be $7, $5 in different countries. That has allowed us to reach more people and penetrate in terms of the reachability, the mobile connectivity. People can see us for our ICH promotion on their handheld devices easily anywhere they are. And it is beyond ages. Age is no bar, because everybody is understanding the necessity of being tech savvy and connecting with the world on the mobile phone. So it's helping definitely. And of course, Kalayan made a very good point. It is bringing down the cost.
Yes, thank you. Any other remarks? Julio, your microphone, please put on.
The only problem with the digital and the online sharing and parting is the emotion. Do you feel, see, Sanjay was talking before, some crafts that is impossible to share online as dancing or music. But even when you share dancing or music, do you think online you can transmit the same emotion as live?
No.
Yeah.
No, but this now is only thing that we can do. And
Yes.
when you make a record for your sing and song, you will be there. The ICH barriers is not professionals that can bring all of emotions on the video because they have no skills and knowledge to get this, but they will feel that they sing and song and dance and make music and play. They will feel, but the audience cannot feel the same. Yeah, yes. It's for now. It's very important that the barriers of ICH to be barriers to in the future, and they have the spirit. And when you go to the stage or to preserve your heritage, you will have a knowledge. It's I know that when you're going to the concert and the public and the musicians and singers are they're in same spirit, and they get each get from the musician get from the audience, and audience get from the musician the spirit. But everybody knows that on TV, on internet is not the same.
Okay, thank you. Robert, please.
Well, I would say that a key in these situations is facilitation. You know, the framing that's done by people like us that can draw people into the experience. So I think that's an important dimension of it. And with material culture, with the series of presentations that I mentioned that there was in New York, people prepared foods, they presented crafts, they dealt with some presented aspects of the traditional festivals. And there was a dialogue, there was a discussion with the host, the facilitator, the community member, the folklorist who worked with them. And that brought people into the experience. Just also to comment on the matter of emotion, I mean, what you don't have is a responsive audience in performance and presentations. You can, you know, the people are adapting, so you have like certain kinds of responses that people have. You know, you can applaud online, you can unmute everybody so everybody claps, and you know, it replicates to a certain extent, and it's another kind of mode of people connecting. So it's not impossible to have the response. It's a different kind of response. It's not like the real thing, but I've certainly I've been in online situations that have been very poignant and fun and emotional. I mean, you know, outside the ICH realm, I was at a Zoom funeral with about 60 people with a relative of mine. I've been at Zoom birthday parties, which have been very joyous. So people are, you know, there's affect there, there's experience there. It's not missing. I mean, it's not like live performance. You don't have the co-presence, but it's a different kind of co-presence.
Thank you very much. Another comments? Okay, we are now connecting. Okay, we go on, it seems. So the last one, the highest, the fifth statement, the highest percentage, about 40% of responses to the UNESCO's call to share experiences in the context of COVID-19 pandemic was provided by ICH NGOs. Can this be taken as an indicator of a trend towards more prominent presence of NGOs among main actors involved in the operation of the convention on the international scale? Is there a similar trend happening on regional, national, and local levels? Has this unfortunate situation helped better cooperation between ICH communities, NGOs, and governments? So how is if you think about what it was a year ago, do you think that the NGOs have a more important kind of a task in the society please, any comments?
The greater participation by the NGOs during this pandemic has been possible because people have more time. They don't have to go to office. They don't have to go to college, schools. So the working people who were running NGOs, now they have got a lot of time to look after their NGO. So NGO is becoming more active these days. That is the main point. I think because of which NGOs are becoming more active during this pandemic. But whether this will be sustained or not, that cannot be said now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any other comments? Julio, please.
Yeah, absolutely. As people just had more time they were looking for. But anyway, I think it may become a trend, really. As people have discovered many things, and maybe the possibility of discover new will move them to keep on in touch or investigating.
Thank you. Any experiences on how the situation has changed between for example, the state and the NGO in any countries, or could we hear anything like that? Or is the situation, has it been the same?
Yeah, that is good. The government machinery has relied on the NGOs for relief works during the pandemic. So that way also the NGOs are coming forward and coming to the domain where generally the bureaucracy and the government only work. You're getting more exposure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Other comments? Okay, it seems no, so we'll go on. Thank you very much. So that was the last statement. And now I will remind you that we will continue about 25 minutes. The ones that you come late, please put your name and the organization to the chat. We will be saving the chat so we have the for the notes, your correct names. And then please to the participant list, if you can put your correct name, it sometimes says something else. Okay, and then another thing, yeah, okay. Now we have heard all of the statements. In general, please give us your reflections. How does it seem as a whole? Is there something missing? Should something be emphasized in the report? The work will go on so that the steering committee will take the responsibility of actually writing the report. But of course, these ideas will be on the basis of that work. So please, something missing or something to leave out? Any comments? No. It either means that this is very bad or it is very good. But I'm hoping it means that everybody's happy and you don't have any critical things to add. I will check it one more time. Yeah. Okay, so we will go on like that, and then I will check the Facebook if there is any comments. No, there's no extra comments. And Ravi, you want to say something?
Yeah, I will just add a little here.
Please.
Thank you, Matti. As far as the contributions from the NGOs are concerned, I mean, there has been always, in terms of calamities, in terms of warlike situations, NGOs have always come forward, and this pandemic is no different. But from the government side, the focus was something else at the moment. They were more focusing on medication, transportation, food, and basic necessities, which are affected big time. And one thing which is affected is no income generation for families. So government is more focusing on that. In that parlance, now that the situation is under a little control, especially in third world countries like India, now if this report that the steering committee makes, if more emphasis could be given and governments and government representatives could be encouraged or motivated more to focus on NGOs who are working towards regenerating the income sources for ICH workers, artists, and such contribution from the government side or support from the government to the NGOs, to such accredited NGOs, will really make a lot of difference, and that should be done, I believe.
Thank you. That a very good point. So, kind of the recognition of the ways that NGOs could work and will work and do work from the state side. That's a very good addition. Any other remarks, comments on whole? If we are reporting as a ICH NGO Forum to the committee on the topic of ICH in emergencies and then COVID-19, do we have something to add? We have of course, we have to keep in mind the good work of the committee and the modalities and the principles that are going to be dealt with in the next committee meeting. And but I think this will go as case as usual, just to comment and thank for the good work. I don't see any. Leandro, do you have your mic open? But if you want to speak, please. Or anybody who hasn't spoken it. We had in the beginning we had a small introduction, so or just a presentation of everybody. So floor is free just to say hello also. Okay, we will be wrapping it up then. I will read you one more comment. There was, you can read it also from the chat. Helena Drobna from the Secretariat wrote, "Dear all, here are some experiences on ICH and COVID collected by UNESCO." And this is the Living Heritage experiences and the COVID-19, which you can find from the UNESCO website, written in red in the main page. And then Helena goes on, "If you or your communities have interesting experiences to share, it is still possible. Just fill in the form available online." So everybody keep in mind that you can post your own experiences on your community situations. Okay, I will once more ask if anybody has anything to add, and then I will be thanking you all. The floor is open, please. No? Okay, so we will proceed with the steering committee with this report. And thank you very much for all of you for your participation and for your comments. And once again, thanks for the steering committee for organizing this and letting us organize this session so that there will be as wide participation as possible with this report work. So I will be closing the session now. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Matti. Wonderful work done, my friend.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.